It's time for round 2 on my Mazda MX-6 project. One of the main problems that my car had was that it was misfiring. I knew that one of the problems was an exhaust leak, so I took it to the muffler shop, had them diagnose it, and instead of having them fix it, I decided to buy a new front pipe. In addition to this, I also fixed some items on my car, so let's get started on this round of the project. On this episode, I'm going to do another round of maintenance on my Mazda MX-6. A few episodes ago, I replaced a few things as well as fixed a few problems with the car. And on this vlog, I'm going to installing my exhaust front pipe, which is one of the items that I at least look forward to because I'm going to have to lift up my car and then go underneath. So that's one of my least favorite parts about working on a car is when I'm working on my back underneath the car. I do also need to adjust the idle, and after that I need to adjust the ignition timing. So before I do that, I'm going to do a quick replacement of the oil filler cap. I noticed on the last vlog when the engine was overheating that some oil was seeping through the oil cap. So I ordered a new one and I'm just going to replace that one because the old one, I noticed when I was tightening it, it's a little bit loose and the seal has aged quite a bit. So I'm going to replace that one so it can stop the leak. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and change because it's about to get dirty. The next step on my project is to lift up my car. I'm going to need access towards the front because the exhaust manifold is right over here and the front pipe extends all the way down here. So I just need enough room to access the bolts and then I'll replace it with a new one. I got the foot of my car already lifted. For safety purposes, you always want to make sure that you chock the tires. And then I have both my hydraulic jacks underneath, and then the 2 jack stands for extra safety. I'm going to be using my crawler to get underneath the car, and here's my exhaust pipe. I spent quite a bit of time underneath my car. It was quite a challenge because it's very tight and it's a very old car, so trying to lubricate it so that I could loosen the bolts was very challenging, but I was able to get it out, and now I'm going to put everything back together. After quite a bit of time underneath my car, I'm able to pull out the OEM front pipe, so I'm going to replace that with the one that I just bought recently. Everything is pretty much direct replacement. I took out the O2 sensor here, so I'm just going to recycle that and put it on the new one. Initially, I brought my car to the muffler shop to see if they could do a test to identify where the exhaust leak is. And when they put on the lift, they noticed that there was a lot of welding over here, and they tested the leaks in this area, and there was a major leak which was causing my car to misfire. And especially because the O2 sensor was right here, was a big problem. You can see how bad the job is. Whoever tried to fix this, the welding is terrible. Let me flip it on the other side so you can see where the leak is at. Let's see if I can, right here. I'm pretty sure there's more exhaust leaks in this area, but that was a major one. See how close it is to the O2 sensor? So instead of having the muffler shop fix this, I have a new exhaust pipe. I'm going to approach this kind of like how I did the radiator hose. I'm going to add some dishwashing liquid at the ends. That way when I slide these into the hangers, it goes in smoothly. So here's how it looks like underneath with the exhaust out. You can see the muffler where the catalytic converter is right there. I'm going to be putting the front pipe through this shaft right here and then bolt it up to the headers from up here. I buttoned up everything on the car. The next step is to fire it up and make sure that there's no exhaust leaks. So I'm gonna have to go back underneath the car and just make sure that I feel all the areas where the exhaust is connected and make sure I don't feel any leaks. Unfortunately, I identified a couple leaks, so I'm gonna retorque those areas and retest it again. Everything is pretty much dialed in now for my MX-6. As far as this round of maintenance, I'm going to continue to work on the car as a project so I can get closer to my goals with it. Now that my Mazda MX-6 is running mechanically more efficient, I'm going to move on to other parts of my project, and I'm going to shift my focus to cleaning the interior of that car. I haven't set aside any time on doing a deep clean on that interior, so I'm going to make sure that's going to be the next part of my project. On episode 108, I bought a new car to add to my model car collection, and in that vlog I spoke about how I wanted to raise up some of my cars because some of them came really low, and just by chance I discovered these really small washers that my daughter was playing with, and when I looked at it the first time, I automatically knew that's something I could use for my model cars. I was able to apply the spacers on a few of my cars. I'll start off with a couple that stand out right away, and that is the STI. It was really low, basically hitting the rim. I'll try to get a better angle so you can see it. There's a little bit more space in between the rim and the fender. I also did the R35 Before it was much lower, it's actually covering the rim. So it raised this a little bit. I wanted to add more spacers, but the length of the screw was too short. So I need to find newer screws so it'll allow me to add more spacers. So this is still a work in progress. The RX-7 FD from the first Fast and Furious, this was really sitting low as well. It was basically riding on the rim. So now it looks a lot better. I did the same thing with this FD down here. My Carrera GT, I just lifted the front. The back, I just left it alone because it was pretty good already. And then I also did the Viper down here. On the next episode, I'm going to continue work on my 911 in preparation for Monterey Car Week. I do have some updates, so I'll discuss more of that on the next vlog. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.